Hey everyone, Pete Byrne, WSBT 22 Sports, joined again by Tyler James, co-publisher of Inside ND Sports, as we look ahead to Week 3 for the Fighting Irish. But Tyler, it's hard to look ahead to Game 3 because everybody's still dwelling on Game 2. Notre Dame's lost to Northern Illinois. Still a bit of a shocker, a bit of a puzzler. We just heard Marcus Freeman speak, and he too is very clearly still hung up on figuring out what his team did wrong, and more importantly, how do we move past it? So we're going to delve into that. First things first, I know there's a lot of concern among the fans about quarterback play this week.
Right, yeah, and Marcus was asked if he considered putting Steve Angeli in during the Northern Illinois game, and he said no, flatly no, that was not something that they considered, although Steve Angeli was warming up at one point towards the end of the game. So they're sticking with Riley Leonard. He has confidence in him. Obviously, he's not proud and happy with the performance that Riley Leonard put out on the field on Saturday, and they got to get things cleaned up. Riley Leonard has to be better in terms of his accuracy, better in terms of his decision making, and I thought it was interesting that Marcus Freeman kept saying he has to trust. He kept saying we more than Riley specifically, but we have to trust our protection of the offensive line, and I think that's a reflection of Riley Leonard maybe getting a little antsy in the pocket sometimes when they don't want him to be, and actually have confidence to throw the ball down the field.
To hang in there, I'm curious, and you know this having played the position, what was your assessment of the offensive line play? Because even Marcus Freeman himself said he thought they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he said he saw growth. He said thought they were better against Texas A&M than they were against Northern Illinois. Now, obviously, Texas A&M is a much more difficult opponent, although Northern Illinois gave Notre Dame plenty of problems defensively as well. So I think they were okay. I don't think they were great by any means. Certainly room for improvement there. They're not having consistency getting pushed in the running game, and that's allowing those sort of 3 and outs that really hampered Notre Dame against Northern Illinois. And there's ups and downs with the pass protection, so it's kind of what you'd expect with this young offensive line. Like this is what we expected from them. It's everything else around them that has sort of maybe not reached the expectations that we had for them.
In fact, I think you even saw the up and down throughout the flow of the scoring. Notre Dame very good coming out of the locker room in both the first quarter and the third quarter, and then the offense kind of stagnant after that. Something you asked Coach Freeman about.
Yeah, obviously the script is working in some way, right? If the plays that they're scripting out of the opening game and then at halftime are working. They scored touchdowns on both those drives. What is the defense doing that is adjusting that Notre Dame is not responding well to? Why are they having those inconsistencies? Those are the things that they have to work to figure out, because yeah, you can't just score your first drive and your first drive of the second half and win many games. So they have to be able to have some consistency there, and obviously they haven't had it. What's the answer for that exactly? I don't know. That's why they get paid a lot more than I do. But they got to find it, because the way the offense played against Northern Illinois is unacceptable.
Now on the defensive side of the ball, a mixed bag. I mean, giving up 16 points to a team week in and week out, you're probably going to feel pretty good about that. I think they only allowed 1 touchdown. But the inability to get the ball back when they needed it most and get off the field, I think, was really detrimental to this defense. They were on the field more than 20 minutes in the second half.
Yeah, the offense certainly didn't help them. I didn't think punter James Rendell helped them a lot. Sometimes he pinned them back, but sometimes he had some poor punts that sent Northern Illinois closer to midfield than he would like. But yeah, Northern Illinois was able to maintain possession. The defense didn't force any turnovers. That doesn't help your opportunity to get the ball back for the offense. But so yeah, Marcus Freeman talked so much about complementary football in the Texas A&M game, and there was none of that in this game. The offense wasn't setting up the defense, and the defense wasn't setting up the offense. So they got to get off the field better. The game's on the line in the fourth quarter. Certainly you don't want to be in that position as the defense, but at the 50-yard line, but they let Northern Illinois get a couple first downs to get in position to kick the field goal. So I think the defense still has some room for improvement too. Certainly they played better than the offense did during this game, but certainly plenty to learn from moving forward and looking ahead to Purdue.
And as we do look ahead to Purdue, Irish go back on the road. They're playing a Power 4 opponent. Still used to saying Power 5. It is Power 4 now. And Purdue is not a ranked team. They're not a team that people expect. I think a lot of people think that going to a bowl game would make for a good season for Purdue in second year under Coach Walters. But what do they do well, and where do they present potential problems for Notre Dame outside of the problems Notre Dame's currently trying to fix on their own?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue, is that Notre Dame has to be so self-focused on what they need to fix that obviously they're going to have game plans, and I think that's more on the coaching staff than the players to make sure that they know what Purdue is going to present to them and put that into the game plan in terms of stopping Purdue's passing game, stopping Purdue's running game, being able to find some holes in Purdue's defense, and being able to take advantage of a team that they should be able to beat. But obviously we saw on Saturday Notre Dame lose to a team that it should beat, so a lot that needs to be corrected, and certainly there should be ways that Notre Dame can figure out how to beat Purdue.
All All right, well, we're going to find out firsthand, and we're going to find out this week on WSBT. The Irish and the Boilermakers kick off at 3:30 Eastern Time, a game that can be seen nationwide on CBS, locally on WSBT 22. And if you are in the market, you can also join us live for our pregame special from Ross-Ade Stadium, which will begin at 2:30 Eastern Time. That's going to wrap it up for now. For Tyler James of Inside ND Sports, I'm Pete Byrne of WSBT 22. Thanks for watching.